This being 6:30 on Tuesday, June 23rd. This meeting will be conducted by video conference without a physically present quorum of the Maine Township Board because of a disaster declaration related to COVID-19 public health concerns affecting the township. Pursuant to Senate Bill 2135, hang on a minute. Okay. All right. Hi, Dave. I was in the middle of reading the beginning paragraph. Pursuant to Senate Bill 2135, which Governor Pritzker signed last Friday, Township Supervisor determined that an in-person meeting at the building with all participants is not practical or prudent because of the disaster. Township officials and legal counsel will not be physically present at the township building if that is unfeasible due to the disaster. Physical public attendance at the township building may be limited or not feasible, so alternative arrangements for public access to hear the meeting were made available via our link to the Zoom. The meeting will also be audio or video recorded and made available to the public as provided by law. Vasha, can you call the roll?
She left the room.
No, I can't. So Supervisor Perez?
Here.
Trustee Sweeney?
Here.
Trustee Jones?
Here.
And I see Trustee Carabota so far, okay?
Here.
Okay, I want to introduce Trustee Jones and Trustee Carabota to Kelly Stonich. She's already met Trustee Sweeney. That is our financial person that will answer any questions. That is our temporary that has been doing a great job, but she kindly joined us so that she could meet all of you and answer any questions.
Hi, Kelly.
Nice to meet you, Kelly.
Nice to meet you.
All right, have at it.
I'm starting to work on Township 1.
I'm on Township 5.
Okay,
Okay, I'll do general assistance.
sounds good. Supervisor Marask, I have a question for you.
Okay, I'll try to answer.
Is Viesha there too? Yes. Okay, because I know you asked me the bill number 57826. I know that this was an assessor's office hire of John Abergi. How do I say his name? Abergi. Pardon?
That's our tech guy. It's not a hire.
That's correct. Yeah. Okay. Well, he had a one-time setup, and I didn't know if we needed to, is that something we vote on because we're paying for?
You've already voted on it.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. We voted on.
We did vote on that, and yes, it's a once a year.
We have a regular fee for him.
Correct.
And then this is separate from that. So this is an additional.
Right. This is the once a year, but it was in the regular contract that was signed.
Okay. And then we also are paying for storage of $589 for the storage device for scans. So I just thought that,
That's a separate thing.
right.
So
was that something we voted on to come before the board?
That's the Comcast one. Comcast gets year to year. It doesn't change.
Okay, the storage device for scan-ables. Okay,
Yes.
I don't know, to maintain permit files.
Right. Don't you want to maintain?
That's a Comcast storage?
Yes. That is the Comcast.
Okay, it's not itemized. It's not a Comcast.
correct?
So I would
I'm
have no way. I have no way of knowing that. It says 4 TB NAS for document storage. It's just a bill from John. It does not. Both are from John for $2,000. It's not from Comcast.
But he maintains it. So he is the one that makes sure it gets stored. Remember, like before we had a company that did it? Oh, it is his company. I mean, it is the company. So this is part of the additional price. It's not anything not in the contract. It's a once a year charge. Am I correct, Dana? I know I'm correct. Is she there? Anyways, that's the deal.
Dana, is Dana there?
Yes, she's coming from down upstairs. She went just upstairs for a second. Yeah, so anything, I was upstairs. Are you saying anything that's out of the ordinary that's not in the contract? Was that the question? Or John?
Yeah, about
well-
John Ambergy and the once a year storage fee and the once a year fee to the other bill she was talking about for the assessor's office.
Right,
That's it.
right. So are you saying that they paid extra something that's outside of the contract? Is that the question, or?
I
Well, it
think
says
that's
a
what-
one-time charge of $1,500 and then an additional charge of $595. So it's a $2,000 bill.
Right, anything that's something, a one-time fee or one-time, something that's not necessarily the contract, it's something that might be done out of the ordinary, would be a separate charge.
Okay. I mean, typically we vote on that is all I'm saying. I thought it's a separate.
Well, the only thing is, I don't know, maybe Laura can chime in, it does say, I don't have the contract in front of me, but I believe it does say in the contract that, they are authorized.
Right.
To do any type of outside work, if it falls outside of the parameters of, what they normally do on a regular basis. And that they would just charge us, whether it's per project or per hour or whatever it might be.
Okay.
We're happy to send you the
Okay,
contract.
that's okay. If that's in the contract, fine. I just.
It is.
It was that one-time fee.
Right, that's definitely in the contract.
Yeah, it happened last year. It happens.
Okay.
Right, if they have to do something out of the ordinary, then it's not very often that they do, but maybe once a year or even that, then they would just bill us like probably what you're looking at now.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, Carrie Lynn.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. The boardroom looks so lonely.
All right. 2 weeks ago Friday, it wasn't lonely. Was that when our department head meeting was, Dana? All the days are running together. I think she left again.
We had a Friday department head meeting.
Yeah, when was that VA? Oh, it was the Friday before we opened.
Just before we opened, so was it like 15? No, 15 we opened, so Friday would be 12.
Right. Which feels like a year ago. Yeah, it is 2 weeks ago. Okay.
How are you doing, Kelly?
Good. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
Kelly, this is her first time meeting the board, and she is kindly agreed to stay to answer any questions, as Denise used to do.
Is Claire coming?
Yeah, I haven't heard that she's not. She's not in the waiting room yet. I'll text her.
Glenn?
Question for Carrie Lynn.
I'll let you know you're trying to get on.
Carrie Lynn, I just wondered,
Claire says she's trying to get on, by the way.
okay, just Mike Earl correspondence regarding, what was it? What, can you comment on that? What that's about?
Was
employment
reviewing the
contract?
contract for legality.
Yeah, that was the GovTemp HR thing. So we were exchanging correspondence about the temporary contracts and about the need for board approval, that kind of stuff. He's the guy from the temp agency.
Oh, okay, thank you. And then Karen Cohen, representation?
Oh, Karen Cohen used to be
Intern.
thank you, at Mainstay. So that's gonna get paid by the Mainstay insurance. Rich can probably explain that, but Carrie Lynn's, Mainstay's required to give her an attorney if it was about something that happened while she was working at.
So this was a former intern for the township, and she went to work for a hospital or something like that. And then she had an issue with the hospital and ended up in a lawsuit with them. And one of the issues was, the person who went to work for the hospital had been seen by the intern, and she ended up, part of the litigation is the mental health of the person in the litigation. So they wanted to take a deposition of Karen Cohen from when Karen counseled her while she worked with Maine. So we did that. We represented her at that because we felt we had an obligation if there was going to be potential liability to the township. And now we're processing the insurance claim for the township to get reimbursed for that amount of money.
Okay, thank you. Oh, so we're expecting some reimbursement,
I think full reimbursement.
full reimbursement. Okay,
That's how I understood it from Rich, because they have their own.
so and basically all we represented was for that
Limited purpose.
3/4 of an hour, right? Or was there more to it than that?
Well, there was some correspondence that,
It says phone calls and emails, so that's all we're expecting, right, Carrie Lynn? Just for that 3/4 of an hour?
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
he represented her in a deposition as well.
Was that for the deposition, or I'm not sure?
No, there's no deposition on here.
Oh, probably
that
then
probably
it got
occurred.
billed through the catastrophic. Okay.
Then that will probably be on the June bill.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Oh, right. She's trying to log, says waiting for host, but you're not in. She's not in. I think she's on the wrong link.
So Viesha, those were just questions pertaining to invoice 57828.
Thank you.
Hey, Rich.
Yes?
I'm sorry. Can you resend Claire the link? Because I don't think she's using the right link.
Sure.
She said she's trying to get in, but it won't admit her, but I don't have her in my waiting room. Oh, she used May. Never mind. She sees the right link.
Just clarification, I know Rich wants to get a phone call if the public wants to join in, right? Because I got a text from somebody, but they have to be, for the public to join in at 7:30?
That's correct, yes.
They should call you, or can they just click on that link if I send them that link?
The link does not have the password, so they have to call me for the password.
Okay, I think in the one that you sent me, there was a password.
Yes, I sent that to you. That's for
sent-
all the board members
Right.
and the attorney, but not for the public because we can't have a repeat of what happened.
Okay, so
public-
I did, correct, so I didn't forward it. So you would prefer to just get a call directly, Rich?
Yes, the number on the website is my direct line, so that'll be my cell phone right here, in case anybody needs the password. Or if you know the person, you can just give them the password as well.
Okay, I can look up what okay.
Hmm. What is her email? There she is.
She said she was gonna be late.
I
when
got
she
it.
Texted me, but
I
I don't
got
know.
it. She's coming. She's right here. She just was using the wrong link. All right. There she is. And let's unmute her. All right. Let the record reflect Trustee McKenzie is at the meeting.
Hi.
Hi,
Claire.
everyone. Hi. Sorry for holding
Oh,
you
I
guys
want to
up.
introduce you to Kelly Stonich, who is
Hi, Kelly.
over there
Nice to see you.
and is the finance person that is there to answer anything out of the ordinary or questions.
What did you guys start on so that I'll do something else?
You
I'm
can
doing-
use Town Fund 2 if you want to start on Town Fund 2.
I should start on Town Fund too?
Correct.
Okay, so
I'm on Town Fund 1, and Dave, I should make a list. Dave is on
I'm on 5.
5.
I'm on the second GA.
okay.
I have a question on invoice. Is Laura around?
Yeah.
Invoice 57829. I would like to see the detail behind the balance forward because there's a new charge for the plumbing inspection video, which I see on here, and the other
You
was,
guys approved that at the March meeting.
I'm not finished with my sentence. I know we approved that for 325. There's a balance forward and it doesn't detail what it is. So I'd like to just, if we can please just request what the balance forward was from, because there's no detail on what that invoice is, or there's no invoice it references. It's 2 charges for 325. The video, I know what that is. I don't know what the other charge is.
Another video, remember?
It just says balance forward.
Mike talked about, right, because we only paid the one charge and then it fell in between the month and because that was at a is Mike there, Dana?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay. We had a long talk about this.
I have a question.
Okay.
It was probably answered last time, but I didn't do town fund last time. The agency funding checks, how, how we added the extra, how is that included? Is that included in these grant payments or is that a separate check?
We did, Rich, we did a one-time check that was added, I thought, to the, depending on, Rich can answer that question. Rich?
Yeah, that's correct. Or last month.
I think you may have to move up though, because I don't think they can hear you from back there.
Last month, there was a one-time supplemental payment for all the agencies, that additional amount that the board voted for. So that was all in last month's bill pay.
I kind of remember that, but I wasn't sure. Thank you.
Okay, Mike is here.
Susan, you want to ask your question again?
Yeah, hi, Mike. I was just asking about, I know we had agreed to pay for the video inspection for the sewers, and that was 325, and it's itemized on this one invoice here. But there's another invoice that says that it's a balance forward, like it was past due or something. And then I don't know what that was for,
So,
422.
so he came out twice. I had him come out twice to take a look at it. As far as balance forward, I think that was just our balance. Nothing past due or anything like that. The reason that we didn't pay it right away is because we needed a W-9. We requested that for probably a month from that company, and they never got it to us. Once they gave us a W-9, then we paid it.
We needed what, a W-9, did you say?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So he did do 2 video inspections?
Yes, we did 2 of them. Before we did anything big with that project, with the collapsed sewer and all that stuff,
Okay.
we ended up doing, I got a couple companies in here to take a look at it, and we had him come out twice. But like I said, he never gave us a W-9, so that's why that one is pretty late.
And that's why this W-9 is actually in here, this Gregory Gazda.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so that's for 2 video inspections. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Another question, Laura. Beeline support, I'm sure we talked about this. I don't remember what this exactly is. The $2,350 for misting.
Oh, that was to clean the building before we reopened for the employees
Oh, okay. So that was
and the
part of
public. Yeah, it was the COVID cleaning that's required by the Public Act.
Okay. Thank you.
a general question. Why do some of our agencies, they're getting just grant payment number 1, some of them are getting grant payment number 2 or 3, and some are getting 1, 2, and 3?
Some bill quarterly, some bill monthly, and some bill biannually. That's
Thank
what.
you.
Six coming. Which one?
I'm moving on to town fund number 3.
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
So Susan, are you starting with 57848?
Yes,
Okay, then I will go to, is there a 4?
yes.
Okay, I will go to 4.
Okay, I'm done with the general assistance.
I am gonna finish town fund. So is there any more on road and bridge needed?
Did we start? I don't think we started Road and Bridge.
Oh, okay.
Susan's on mute. I couldn't hear her. I don't think we started Road and Bridge, so I can start that one.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
If Claire's done with hers, maybe you guys want to split it.
I'm
Yeah.
not done yet. As soon as I'm done, I'll let you know and you can tell me where you're at.
Hang on, Susan. I don't know why you got muted. I'm trying to, I did. Wait. Why does it change all of a sudden?
Okay. I muted myself because my son was screaming from the basement, so.
Oh, that's why.
I think it was appropriate conflict. I told him not to, but,
Did you need something?
oh, me? No.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to say to Kim that, yeah, it would make sense to start on Road and Bridge. That's what I was saying before.
Oh, and just to let you guys know, Highway Commissioner Kazmerchik is present,
Okay.
if you have any questions.
Susan,
Yes,
you said you did the town fund one, right?
correct.
Did-
And Town Fund 3.
So in my town fund 4, after I finished with the last check, 857864, the next thing was going back to page 1 of 57805. I wondered if that was a mistake because that should have been in town fund 1. Did you start there or did you start later?
I'm looking at my checks. I started 57826.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
That's what I was wondering, because I was missing.
Dave, maybe you should do the Road and Bridge too.
I was missing 57826 all the way through to 57862. In other words, I had 5. I had, because I'm in 5, and I had 57816 through to 57825, and then I jumped to 57863. So that's what I've been wrestling with, the 57826 going to 57862.
No, 57826 was part of what I've been doing. I did all.
Yeah, but I was ahead of you. In other words, my town fund 5 included 816, 817, 818, 819.
81, yeah, that's right.
But then it took me all the way through to 25. But then 26, I'm missing 26 through. I thought town fund 5 was the tail end of the whole list.
No, town fund 4 is.
Well, anyway, whoever has 57826, which is where I stopped, and then I started again at 57862.
Okay, what's the question?
The question is, I want to make sure, I thought the town funds were,
That's fine.
Kristen already did that. The warehouse direct, the wings, the
I'm
credit.
just doing 1 and 3, so let me see what the last thing is that the 3 has. And maybe
And
it's,
I'm doing
yeah,
4.
57860. Yeah, and the last one would be 57860. Yeah, you said you did 57861, right?
Okay,
Dave,
guys.
in other words,
Five-
no, I have, I have 3 checks. I got 62, 63, and 64. Then I go all the way back up to 25. 825, 57825, 57818, 57816.
No,
So
but
there's a chunk
you
there.
only have that one, 57825. I didn't start on 57825. Mine started with 57826.
Okay,
We just have to make sure we complete, okay.
so
who-
you're 26. So you're,
Dave, if I
have-
can just tell you guys, 57858 through 57863 is all the Metro Federal Credit Union. Okay.
I did
got that.
those.
No, I understand that. But
Oh,
like
I did
5783,
those.
No,
It's
because I'm on at 57860. I have one of them now.
I did that. That's township
But Claire
4.
did it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, it's Township 3, and it's the last bill of Township
Mhm.
3. I'm looking at the invoice.
Click
578.
on first.
yeah, the last time,
Oh, I'm sorry. I started at 57861.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry about that.
I just want to make sure that someone has 57827 through to
Yes.
57861, right? Someone else has
No.
that.
No, mine ended at 57. Claire and I switched off. So mine, I think, ended at 57836 for Township 1. And then I picked up and started at, so I didn't
Yeah,
have
that's correct.
57837. Claire
Oh,
probably,
I did. I
yeah,
did.
Claire had that. And hers went to 47 then, right?
Correct.
And mine started at 57848, my Township 3. And I'm just about done that.
Okay.
But I gotta go back.
Well, I think maybe 2 people might want to do Road and Bridge.
Yeah, let me look at,
I know Kim started it. I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
split it up.
Kelly, I'm looking at Road and Bridge and I don't see check numbers 21392, 21393, 21394, and 21395. I mean invoices. So, and those are for AT&T, ComEd, Garage, ComEd, Traffic Signal, and Verizon Wireless.
Correct.
I heard the bills because
You got to move up, Wally.
What, Wally?
the board at one point in time allowed us to pay utility bills early, since they have to be,
Oh,
and
oh,
don't coincide with our meeting dates.
oh, okay. So they'll be on the invoices will be on next month, or is that what you're saying?
I think Wally misinterpreted that as he didn't need, like, because the board can pay. We, by law, can pay the utilities and salaries, right? But it's probably a good practice, Wally, to just attach the invoice.
I think that's the normal procedure, but maybe in this time of transition with Denise leaving,
Right.
because those bills usually were attached.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
so
I know.
maybe.
Do you want me to?
Okay, all right.
I mean, they
So
were
what should I
paid.
do? Should I just,
Well, they were paid, and I mean,
yeah,
you know, Kelly can send them all out to all you guys. I don't think there's any dispute that those were
Yeah.
bills.
no, I mean, it's not that much.
But, It must have been because Denise.
Unless Dawn didn't send it, but I
they-
reviewed it, so I know it was there, so.
I think they were attached, because there'd be no reason not to attach them.
Right. Kelly, to your knowledge, did you send, or was it Dorothy who sent, the bills and the vouchers, in the groups to the trustees?
Dorothy handles it out, but I can make sure, I can work
Okay.
with her and get
Okay.
those.
Okay, so, yeah, because.
It's about $819, but it's all utilities, so I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
Right, and we'll get a late fee if we don't pay it, so.
Right.
That's why we
You want me
pay
to
it.
do,
Okay.
do you want me to do Road and Bridge 3?
I don't think anybody started 2 yet.
I'll do Road and Bridge 2.
Kelly,
Thanks, Molly.
okay. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, okay, I got that, okay.
Okay, which one's the comment, 94 is another one?
Yeah.
The bill is attached.
Well,
Okay, Claire, then you got that, like, the accounting bill, right? The last 4 on town fund, I think, right? Okay. Okay, so
Yes.
then we're done with town fund, right?
No, because it's the town fund number 4 actually goes to the front, page 1, starting at 57805.
Well, Dave started with town fund 4. That's what he,
No, I started with Town Fund 5
oh, I thought that was your second thing was 5.
and then Town Fund 4.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. And you
But
finished?
what's town fund 5 if I had town fund 4 and I had the last check?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're
Okay.
not, you would, last time it was like Town Fund 5 was the last part of the billing. This time there's some mix in there. So
I think that's because it was Dorothy's first time doing this.
Yeah.
So I think you guys have to
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so
no, I know. I'm just explaining why,
are we
because
missing something in town fund?
no, I mean, Susan, your first question was about the first bill. So I don't know how you.
I'm asking Claire a question. Are we done with town fund?
No,
Okay. So
because my town fund 4 went to page 1 and I had to start at 57805. And I don't know who did the wires and the direct deposits to start on page 1. Because I don't have, I don't think I have those statements in my, no, I don't. Did somebody get oh, you know what, I bet. Did anybody get them?
No.
Did we get them? Okay.
I'll start on road and bridge 3 because we know that nobody's doing that right now, right?
Yeah.
So have you guys checked the payroll?
No.
No.
So
I'm admitting a participant, Earl Wilson.
can we get the payroll reports?
I did send it wire, I did. You should
An
get,
email called wire, I think, right? Is that what?
I named it wire.
Okay.
Okay, I will look for that.
And I'm starting road and bridge 3. So
Okay, so Kim, did you look at the payroll for GA?
No, I did not.
So we still have to do that and town fund payroll. Is all of the payroll in that wire?
Yes. Yes.
I can authorize the payroll, so I did review it, and if you want to review road and bridge, we can send you the payroll, and if you see any problems with it, we can address it.
Okay,
But I am authorized to approve payroll.
okay.
And I didn't see any problems in it. I think, like I said, Dorothy, I'll have to talk to her because I think it sounds like everything got sent backward, basically.
All right.
No problem. It's no problem. Looks like with our back and forth, I think we're covering it. But
Yeah.
Claire, do you want me to stay on Road and Bridge 2, or do you want me to help out with Town Fund?
No, I'll finish up town fund. I'm almost done.
Okay. Okay, then I'll help out with the road, get back to road and bridge too.
How
Okay.
many, Laura, how many months payment, or Wally, I guess, for the offsite storage, the $1,547? Is that just a month?
That's monthly, right? It went up in May. Went up 5 days.
June, yeah. Okay, so that's just one month. And that's the stuff behind the Redeker address, right?
Right, going back all the way to the railroad.
With us selling equipment, et cetera, will we always need to have that space? Is that necessary to have that offsite storage if we don't have as much?
It's not so much for equipment, it's for road supplies, gravel.
Okay,
You know,
so we need that space.
yeah, and I've gone through 2 foremans now, and they insist they need that space. There's no place else to
Okay,
move it to, and if we did move some of that stuff to a different location, there'd be another rental. You know, so about half the yard is taken up by ComEd, and most of it is road materials to store. And we had to put some of the salt there this last week because the salt shed was repaired, and you know, we didn't have that extra because when they were jacking up the rates, I was considering not renewing the 5-year rental, but they said there's just no other alternative.
okay.
Okay, I just completed town fund 4.
Thank you, Claire.
And so now you want me to look at the road and bridge payroll, right, Laura?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or whatever number 3. I think somebody looked at 1, somebody looked at 2.
Yeah, Susan's on 3.
Oh,
Correct.
excuse me. Who does have that?
Which one, Laura?
No, it's the crackling noise.
We're tracking, I don't know, maybe it's me because I'm trying to rearrange things. Let me,
Oh, it's okay. It comes across really loud. So I was gonna, once we start, everybody will be muted and then we'll unmute. Oh, all right.
Wally,
Yeah.
did we get like a ginormous hand sanitizer for $94? It's one of them?
Well, those are little bottles. There was a kit.
Oh, it's a box?
Yeah,
Okay. It says quantity one, so I didn't know.
one box.
Okay,
You
it
know-
says 500 milliliters there. Okay.
My Road and Bridge 3 stops at 21,409. So 10 through 20, I don't have those. 21,410 through 21,420.
I just finished 3.
Road and Bridge 3?
Yes, I just finished it. Just finished it.
I'm
Yep.
sorry, Road and Bridge 2, I'm sorry. I'm on Road and Bridge
What
2.
is-
Right, okay, good. All right,
Right, and I just finished 3.
3, which is probably the tail end of that, okay.
Hey, Rich? Oh, okay, never mind, I got it. Susie, are you there? Great.
He's not here.
No, she's on. I'm just. Oh, how did that happen? All right, Rich, this is gonna drive me insane. Okay, Susie, I'm trying to unmute you. Guys, I'm gonna need to start the board meeting. So, is everybody almost done with Road and Bridge?
I just finished confirming and reviewing the payrolls for Road and Bridge, so I'm done.
All right.
Dave, did you finish 2?
2's done.
Okay, so we're finished Road and Bridge.
Okay. Wonderful. All right. Hang on, I'm trying to unmute everybody.
Can I go here, Laura?
I'm sorry?
Can I go now?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, everybody, this is Kelly. I don't know if anybody didn't meet her yet. Maybe not Pete and Susie, who I've lost the picture for. This is our new finance person. Yes, you definitely can, and welcome aboard.
Yes, nice to meet everybody. Thanks.
And if you can talk to Dorothy tomorrow, you know what they want and the order and everything. So that would be great.
Nice meeting everyone.
All right.
Nice meeting you.
nice to meet you.
All right. So, okay. we're going to adjourn that, second. I'm going to,
Okay.
I'm trying to, these controls are really messed up. They always are messed up. Okay, so Earl, are you unmuted yet? No. I'm trying. There you go.
I'm
I
unmuted
got
now.
it. I got
All right.
it. All right. So I think I got, no, Annette. Okay. Okay. I got it. All right. And Pete and Susie, are you there? Moylan Cry.
I think we seem to lose it. I think
I
we
think
lost
she
her.
lost the connection.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I try again. Okay. All right. So, having finished the bill review, I am going to call the regular meeting to order, it being 7:30 on Tuesday, June 23rd, and I'm going to read the preface. This meeting will be conducted by video conference without a physically present quorum of the Maine Township Board because of the disaster declaration related to COVID-19 public health concerns affecting the township. Pursuant to Senate Bill 2135, which Governor Pritzker signed last Friday, the township supervisor determined that an in-person meeting at the township building with all public participants and regular participants is not practical or prudent because of the disaster. Township officials and legal counsel will not be physically present at the township building if that is unfeasible due to the disaster. We do, however, have the chief administrator, Dana Berman, there. Physical public attendance at the township building may be limited or not feasible, so alternative arrangements for public access to hear the meeting are available here, and then there was a link on the website. The meeting will also be video recorded and made available to the public as provided by law. All right, Pete, would you, oh, I haven't unmuted Carrie. Hang on. Oh, it does different for each person. So weird. Okay. All right. And somehow Earl got muted again. All right. All right. Can everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Which Pete, you have your flag?
A flag.
All right.
All right.
Would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To
To the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and
justice
for all. Amen. And to keep admitting people is like, hang on, Dana somehow got unadmitted. Where is she?
He's coming.
Okay, so why is she separate? Give me a minute. Okay, so everybody will be muted until there's such a time as voting or public participation, just so we don't get background noise. Okay, so Viesha, can you take the roll call? Pete, can you take the roll call?
I can. Highway Commissioner Kazmierczak. Here. Assessor Moylan Cry, we had her, but we lost her. I assume she's coming back. Clerk Gialam is here. Supervisor Marask.
Here.
Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee McKenzie.
Here.
Trustee Carabota.
Here.
Trustee Sweeney.
Here.
All right. And Dana, I unmuted you, but I don't know if you did.
Okay. I'm here.
Good.
I'm unmuted.
Okay. All right. Oh, there's Susie. Okay, hang on. And Dana, I've already admitted you. So
I'm here.
why are you still showing in the waiting room?
Can you see me?
Yeah.
There's somebody else trying to get on.
That was Susie.
Okay,
She's
Well,
right there.
Else.
I always get, maybe you can I always try to get out of my phone and on the computer.
Well, don't do that. Only because
Okay, because on my computer,
you're also on in the boardroom. All right,
Okay.
I'll admit you, it's gonna be an echo.
okay.
I admitted you for the other one as well.
Well, I don't have a speaker or a,
I hear you fine.
Yeah,
it
we hear
sounds
you.
good.
Totally
Hi
fine.
to me.
okay.
Okay, so, the first order of business, I am asking for a motion to approve the minutes of the May 26, 2020 bill pay review.
Motion to approve the May 26th bill pay review.
Is there a
Second,
sec? All right, having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gialamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm asking for a motion for approval of the minutes of the May 26, 2020 board meeting.
Motion to approve minutes for Maine Township Board Meeting, May 26, 2020, as presented in the board packet, waive reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gialamas, Trustee Sweeney.
Yes, I'd just like to a point of clarification on page 4, because I listened a couple times and I just think we could be clearer, and I'm open to suggestion as to how to phrase this because I listened and I know what was said. So I know we have to repeat the motion as was stated. It's the first motion on that page, and it says currently motion to approve health insurance by keeping the grandfathered plan plus move the dental insurance to MetLife with employees paying 50% of the premium. And the reason I'm suggesting that we clarify that, because, and I can repeat what you actually said, Laura, because I listened to it and wrote it down, was because it gives the appearance to me, the way it reads right now, as though the 50% of the premium applies to both the health insurance as well as the dental plan. And right now, we know that the health insurance, we pay the township pays 95% of the premium. So I think it's a little bit misleading to keep it like that. So because of that, I'll read what was actually stated. It said, you had said, I make a motion to keep it the same. This is what Supervisor Marask had said, to keep it the same at the grandfather plan and at the same time move MetLife. My motion would be that we pay 50% of the voluntary dental. So
I think the summary says it just fine, but I don't have any problem with your way either. It doesn't matter.
well, I haven't suggested a way.
Well, I mean,
I'm up for discussion because
no, it does not merit a discussion. It really doesn't. It's if anybody thinks it's Trustee Jones.
I mean, basically, it's the same. You could just say plus voluntary dental insurance to MetLife with employees paying 50%. You can add voluntary before dental insurance, and that would basically give this explanation. Plus, you
That's
have the
fine.
video again. You have the video there, so.
Well, the motion wasn't stated exactly that way. I read what was actually stated, but
right. She doesn't have to, if you recall, it doesn't have to be verbatim. It's the summary of the action taken, the motion, the second, and that was the motion to approve the health insurance,
to
keeping the
approve the health insurance,
grandfathered plan.
grandfather plan, period. We could end it at that point and then say, it really should have been 2 separate motions. It was one, whatever, but regardless, it was one. And then secondly, move the dental insurance to MetLife with the employees paying 50% of the premium.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. So, who made the motion?
You did, Supervisor Marask.
No, I didn't.
I'm sorry,
asked
I
you.
No, for the minutes,
I
I made the motion.
Okay, Dave, are you making an amended motion?
I'm making
Yes.
the amended motion to amend the minutes and state it at motion to approve the health insurance by keeping the grandfather plan, period. And then secondly, to move the dental insurance to MetLife with the employees paying 50% of the premium.
Right, but I
Second.
think Dave has to do that because he made the original motion and then.
Oh, I did. Well,
Oh, he said he
did I miss something?
I made the motion to approve the minutes for the May 26th
Right.
board meeting,
Oh, and I'm making a motion to amend.
and I'm second.
Carrie Lynn, we can't get back.
So was this actually two different motions?
No, it was one motion because that was what we were doing.
You made a motion to approve the minutes and I'm making a motion to amend.
No, my motion was one motion.
All right, that's what I'm asking. On the original minutes, if it was worded as one motion, we can't turn it into two.
No, that's not what she's asking. She's just
Okay, then I
asking for a
misunderstood.
period. And to make it more clear that the employees are not paying 50% of the health premium, that they're paying 50%, we're moving to MetLife for dental, and they're paying 50%, everybody's paying 50% for MetLife, move to a new carrier and pay 50% of dental. So I don't have any problem with her clarification.
I believe the question was, if I made the original motion to approve the May 26 meeting minutes, it was seconded. Now Susan steps forward and moves to amend and makes an amended motion. Do I simply second her amended motion, or do I have to do anything more?
I need somebody to second.
No, you can do that.
Voted on.
I second
Yeah,
it.
you can do that. It was just my concern that her motion then resulted in a partial sentence.
No, it's
I can
actually
reread what
two
act-
sentences.
No, that's Susan. I think we've gotten where the change is approved.
Okay.
You made your amended motion. I'm seconding it, Laura. So I don't think is that good, Laura?
I think so. I
Yeah,
thought
should be
that
fine.
the person
Okay.
making the motion had to amend it, but that's fine. If Carrie Lynn says that's good, it's good.
Thank you,
Let's
Carrie
not get back down in this. We all agree on this. So any further discussion? Hearing none. Clerk Gialamas, can you take the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes, for the amended motion.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm asking for an approval of the general assistance expenditures.
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of May 29th, 2020 and June 12th, 2020, and general assistance checks number 52755 through check number 52814, the amount of $52,371.41.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, having a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gialamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
All right. Now, I'm asking for a motion for approval of the road district expenditures.
Motion to approve
Go ahead.
payroll for pay dates of May 29, 2020 and June 12, 2020, and road district checks number 21385 through check number 21420 in the amount of $129,553.09.
Second.
Second.
Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gialamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm asking for a motion of approval of the general town fund expenditures.
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of May 29th, 2020 and June 12th, 2020, and general town fund checks number 57805, check number 57864, in the amount of $365,705.41.
Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gialamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Okay, and now we have public participation. Do I have anybody that wants to do public participation at this point? Okay, hang on, let me unmute you. I don't know why you keep getting muted.
All right, I think I'm unmuted again. I just wanted to make a general statement. There's been a lot of virtual meetings that I've been attending, council meetings, different board meetings, and I want to commend everybody, not just on the screen, but people behind the screens that are helping Maine Township out.
Rich Lyons.
Hiccups, but for the public to be able to participate and see what's happening, you guys, I clearly see that you are heads and shoulders above many, and some people just aren't trying, which is unfortunate, and I'm glad that you guys are. So I just want to make a statement of, I appreciate the transparency and the ability to include the public and continue business as much as usual is at this point in time.
No, Earl, I very much appreciate that because we've been trying to do that and have done it since March 16th.
Sure.
And I agree with you not to, engage in, but I agree with you. I think there's many boards that just, I don't know, gave up or something. And I'm not naming names, but we've had, I think Dave said something like 6, 7. We've had a lot of meetings, so we are, and we'll get into it a little later, but we've also opened and done, as much transition to virtual to keep everything running as best we can. So I appreciate that, Earl.
Thanks for your comments.
All right, anybody else? All right, so couple changes to the agenda. So in between the time, you got your board packet, and the next day, the person who I was seeking to do part-time for Recovery Connection, Brendan, who was doing a great job, he got a full-time job with benefits. So that is off the that's off the agenda. However, I am going to move up my portion of my board report because I have a person named Chris Welch who works with Carrie Lynn and is a legislative liaison that can give us, and also a legislator that can give us the most recent update on what phase 4 means, what we're supposed to be doing, and all of the things that we all have questions. And I gotta unmute him. So I didn't want to.
Yeah, let me just introduce Chris. So Chris is my law.
I'm just trying to unmute him.
Whoops.
All right, go on.
She froze.
She froze. Carrie Lynn, you froze. All right. Well, Chris, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Chris.
Thank you so much for having me on tonight. Carrie Lynn asked me to come in and share a few updates with you, and I always look forward to giving these types of reports, and feel free to ask me any questions if you have any as well. I've been a partner with Carrie Lynn for the last 2 years and enjoy working with her at Ansel Glink, but I do have a part-time job working in the legislature part of the year. I've been a legislator for 8 years now, and I also chair the House Executive Committee, which this year we served in a very unique role. And during the special session that we had in May, which lasted 3.5, 4 days, every single thing that the General Assembly passed this year came through the Executive Committee. We did it, to minimize the number of people that had to participate in committee activity and things of that nature. But it gave me a unique view of what was going to happen from a legislative perspective this year. As all of you know by now, that we passed a budget. The governor signed it last week. We also passed a capital bill. Last I checked, he still hadn't signed it, but he should be signing it any time now. The budget is technically legally balanced. We did put in there a provision to borrow money in case we do not get money from the federal government as additional stimulus dollars. It was definitely a contingency plan. Hopefully the state does not have to borrow additional monies because of the condition that we're already in. But in order to technically be balanced, we had to pass that provision to borrow possibly $5 billion from the Federal Reserve. And pretty much the budget that was adopted and signed funds things level to what the fiscal year 20 budget did. No one took any cuts. It was a level budget. We call it a level budget or a maintenance budget, but it also included $1.8 billion of existing stimulus money that we received through the CARES Act. And a lot of that money is already being rolled out in various programs. You may have heard already that the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity just put up online yesterday, put out information as recently as today on the business incentive grants and the distressed capital program. That's $376 million that's immediately available to businesses that were impacted by COVID-19. That went online yesterday.
I'm sorry, 300, what was it, Chris?
$376 million.
800. Is that for businesses, governments? Has anything to do with the FEMA reimbursement, or is it like the PPP?
So it's very similar to the PPP program, but as you know, a lot of businesses got shut out of the federal PPP program. So what we did as a state was we set up a state-funded program. We're calling it the BIG program, Business Incentive Grants. And they went online yesterday. And they're looking at, the first 20 million is looking at businesses that were really disadvantaged businesses that were impacted in heavily COVID-19 areas. Then the next 40 million is for any businesses that were impacted as a result of the stay-at-home closures. They define disadvantaged, heavily impacted areas as those that had very high COVID-19 numbers. But then others that were impacted obviously because of stay-at-home orders and having to shut down, things of that nature.
And Chris, is that going to be sent to, or do you have to go look for it? Do you know?
Well, every representative is different. I know I have sent that information out via email, social media. I've sent it to my mayor's caucus here in the local area. Our law firm, for instance, provides that information. Dan Bolin in our office has been providing it to a lot of our clients. So it's available, and we can certainly get that to you, Laura.
Yeah, and it's available to small businesses. So you said phase 1 is for disadvantage, and then phase 2 would be heavily impacted COVID areas?
Well, it's really the first 20 million of the dollars that are available. They allocated 20 million for disadvantaged areas that were heavily impacted by COVID-19, meaning their numbers of COVID-19 patients were extremely high. And then after that 20 million, the next 40 million is to all businesses that were impacted by COVID-19. What I've been encouraging folks to do the last 2 days is get your application in. Don't guess where you may fall. Get your applications in and let DCEO sort that out. And so I think the big thing for us as, government folk is let's get the information out there and encourage people to apply because it's up on DCEO's website. Another thing that folks may be calling the township about that's included in the budget bill is $458 million in mortgage and rental assistance dollars that's in the budget. 458 million, and that's going to run through the Illinois Development of Housing Authority. Another program that we should all
Illinois
be.
Development and Housing Authority, does that interact with our general assistance or no?
Specifically, I don't know the answer to that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does. It's definitely something I think as a resource, everyone should be aware of and at least able to point folks to IDA to apply because folks who are used to calling a township for general assistance may call you and say, are you aware of any mortgage and rental assistance programs?
Well, we got a huge group email. That's why I'm asking, like huge. It was like 1,000 people on it. And it was from IDHA. And I asked my general assistance people to find out who, like what this was. So I'm really glad I had you come because it was hard to reach but I'm sure going back for a minute to do have people from disadvantaged businesses also calling the township. So is that being run by the Small Business Administration like the federal program?
No, this one's run directly by DCEO.
All right. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to hear those three things.
Oh, that's okay. There's a number of programs out there. One other program I want to mention briefly was that the governor announced it last week, especially now that he announced today that schools are going to reopen on time with in-person learning, pre-K through college. They've given the green light for schools to resume in-person activity. And so childcare providers and people may be calling for assistance with paying for their childcare providers. The budget included $260 million for childcare provider assistance. Again, something that it's good to be aware of, a resource to pump folks to, because there's a lot of dollars that we received as a result of the CARES Act is going through these specific programs. Another thing that came out today, you all have a very extremely busy, extremely helpful food pantry that you've probably seen dramatic increased costs on because of that activity. Cook County today announced their guidelines for reimbursing local governments for CARES Act, with CARES Act money. Those just came out late this afternoon. Our office is quickly dissecting it and should be able to get that information to you because expenses on things like a food pantry, for instance, those are dollars that you can seek reimbursement for.
Is it mutually exclusive from the FEMA? Because we're also, our state reps and whatnot had sent us the FEMA reimbursement and we're keeping track of that. So obviously you can't get reimbursed twice. So I'm assuming that whatever FEMA does, like how do those two programs intersect? FEMA.
Yeah, what's not covered by FEMA, you should be keeping track of and look at those guidelines that came out from the county today. And I would at least try to seek reimbursement through there. So you got two shots at getting something reimbursed.
And I'm happy to say our food pantry has been self-sustaining. However, we have had to put out some money in terms of buying food, but we get so many donations that I think that's why we've been featured, and it's a self-sustaining, so the taxpayer doesn't pay it. Wait, is Dana raising her hand?
No.
All right, but that's good to know. And I'm gonna send, if you don't mind, one of you can send us after you dissect.
Absolutely. I was mentioning
Can
last
you
week.
speak to the rest about like some of the township, the bills that affected townships?
I'm not quite sure what all of your COVID-19 expenses are, but the advice that I've been giving, and I'll defer to Carrie Lynn on this as well, is, if you have additional expenses that you can directly attribute to COVID-19, and you've been keeping track of that, those are things you would want to look to, particularly in these guidelines that Cook County just issued, because the county received $429 million of COVID-19 CARES Act money to push down to the local governments. And one of the things that we passed in the special session was an oversight committee to make sure the county's not holding on to that money and that they're
Right, that's what was initially happening. But because they did do this, I think like a month ago, but then the counties were holding on to it.
I think Cook County came out with its guidelines today
Great.
on how to distribute that.
They probably got so much pushback from holding on to it. I meant, Trustee McKenzie has a question for you.
Is this something that maybe we should consider? Oh, I thank you, Chris, for coming to speak to us. Nice to meet you. Is this something that maybe we should put together a committee to review and see what can be applicable to our residents or helpful to the township? Because it seems pretty, there seems to be quite a bit of opportunity. And, I know once we're off of this call, I'm probably going to forget about it unless somebody asks me about it. And that would be insane, because it seems like there's some funds here that can help.
I welcome your help. I mean, myself, Dana, and Vicky have been handling it. And so we have kept the ledger. We've, initiated policies within each department that all charges that are related to COVID goes in a certain column. It was really the interplay, and I welcome your help. It was the interplay between the FEMA and this Cook County thing, because FEMA, I get so many emails and I'm a little unclear because there's like 10,000 webinars and different deadlines. And so actually we've been doing the work but I'm happy to have.
But how about for our residents, our residents who
Oh
have...
yeah, that's what, so I've actually been giving that job to Austin in the GA, so that he coordinates, like, as soon as I get all this stuff, I was going to have, because he's really on the ball and checks, so I was going to have him see which things are applicable to our residents. And again, I'm open to a committee. I just sometimes think a committee might slow things down. If we need to, there's sometimes, like with FEMA, we had to file by a certain date. It had to be filed, like your intention for reimbursement. So if I have to go through reaching a committee, like, Vicky very, she learned it, she filed it, and I'm like, wow. I mean, that's just the intention, but it was like a long list of things you had to say. And one of the things was to keep a separate ledger. So we've been doing that from the beginning. Also, I've been discussing with Carrie Lynn, just so you know, all along the way. Some of the and Chris, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but some of that paid leave, right? The 2-week paid leave that was COVID leave, if they qualified, that's covered. Well, it's covered by FEMA. I don't know. I'm assuming it would also be covered by Cook County because it's a direct result. So anybody who had to hire, like Brendan's salary, which was nothing, it was 10 hours. But any extra help for the food pantry, which we haven't done really. But we do have a lot of expenses in terms of, the food pantry. It's just we've been using the donated money, right, to offset it. But then we have other things like office, there's certain.
Well, we have everything from cleaning supplies to all the extra hours that we've been putting in.
Right.
So Vicki and I have been trying to watch a lot of webinars, and I think where we're confused is, and I don't know, you might have answered this question already, is that so we can be reimbursed by FEMA or CARES, but I think for my question, and we were trying to understand for a webinar a couple days ago, and we didn't understand, is that does the FEMA money automatically come in and then we wait to see what we haven't been reimbursed for and then apply to CARES?
No, FEMA and CARES are the same. Chris is talking about a Cook County fund that was also done by CARES, correct?
Okay.
Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, Cook County received stimulus money out of the CARES Act.
Okay.
And they had not yet pushed it down to local governments. Today, they finally issued their guidance on what's going to, or how local governments should seek funds through that. And reimbursement is one of the things that qualifies. There's other areas that qualify based on need and things of that nature, but reimbursement is one of their categories. And
what's your opinion, Chris? Is it better if FEMA, I had them watch all these webinars, and I am telling you, they're not good at the webinar. I mean, it's so complicated.
It is.
It's really complicated.
Yeah.
And so would it be better, in your opinion, and we have things stemming from cleaning the entire township, like Susan Sweeney just saw the bill for. We had to do it twice. Once to when there was COVID-like symptoms, and then once to reopen in order to be with the guidelines. And then we did plastic shields. We remarked everything. We've done a lot. So all of those expenses have been kept separate, all of them. So I guess my question, and you may not be able to offer, and this is an opinion question, is it better to go first through county and then FEMA, or vice versa?
so, one of the things I would say is, first of all, let me say, I'll always defer to Carrie Lynn, especially on the township side. But I would say, from a practical standpoint, throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. If FEMA doesn't reimburse you for something, take a look at these guidelines that came out today from the county and apply there too. The goal, I know what the legislative intent is, and that is to make you as whole as possible. Will we make you 100% whole? We don't know, but we certainly hope we can get you as close to that as possible. And that's why we put this in place, to force these counties to push this money down to the local government. So I don't think it hurts to apply and see what you get.
So legally, and either one of you can answer it, legally we can apply to both at the same time.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that was my question too. Thank you.
Chris or Carrie Lynn, whoever, if you can send us the, because I did have the county guidelines, but then they were withholding the money originally. And so
they kept saying that they were withholding it because they didn't have their guidelines yet. And now they have their guidelines.
Right. So that would be great, because then if all the money's offset, the taxpayer doesn't pay anything. And that's, obviously the goal. Were there any other bills that affected townships? For example, annual town meeting.
Yes, there was a House Bill 2135 that did pass, and the governor did sign it, that allows you now to have your annual town meeting. I think it was the third Tuesday after the bill was signed. Carrie Lynn has been tracking that one specifically. So I know she's going to work with you guys to get that scheduled, because that should happen now. That way you can give your electors a voice. like they're accustomed to, but that's in law. The other thing I wanted to mention was.
I guess, wait, I'm sorry, before you leave that issue, it's my understanding, even with phase 4, though, we have to be able to socially distance the people at town hall.
Unless you get a waiver from the Cook County Department of Public Health.
So we'd have to bring that up at the July meeting. Okay, so we're, just so you all know, we're looking at August at the earliest for the annual town meeting. Because it was
Now,
my I'm sorry.
I don't know how many people you normally get for your town
A
meeting.
lot.
Okay, because under
I'm sorry, like-
phase four, you can have up to 50 people. In a
Right.
gathering.
But then, so, yeah, we've had up to 100. We've had, I mean, yeah, it really depends. You know, I don't think this year we'll get 100, honestly, but I don't want a system where I have to bar anybody, right? So the town hall, if I'm still socially distanced, is, you know, Carrie Lynn said there's a calculation by which, and she's going to send it to us, by which you figure out, you know, 50% of the square feet and the amount of people, like her church did. I didn't realize it was that kind of calculation. So that'd be great. No, I saw that a lot of, I thought, Carrie Lynn, I thought the waiver was if they wanted to have their annual town meeting in June or in July before the disaster proclamation was
But there's successive disaster declarations that the governor keeps issuing, and he will keep issuing through stage 5.
Okay.
So we'll see if there's
So
some way
we'll
we can.
always have to get a waiver from the Department of Health.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'll check in to see if there's some way we can work around that.
Okay. So just so you all know, we were thinking for this year, usually we use it as an opportunity to, all the employees come and we give them like 5-year ring, 10-year ring, you know, thing. But we were going to make it optional for the employees. But there are many employees who are electors. So I just don't want to be in a position of having to turn people away. I can't do that, right? Because so we were trying, I mean, much as I wanted, oh, somehow you got muted again. So weird. So that was one of the other bills I wanted to ask you about. Is there any other updates that we need to know? Yeah, I'm trying to unmute you. I have no idea why it.
If you mute yourself, then you can't unmute yourself.
Huh?
Like I muted myself and then it wouldn't allow me to unmute myself.
Chris, did you mute yourself? Oh, I'm trying to unmute. All right, can you unmute yourself?
You should be able to do it now that you authorized it.
I've authorized it 6 times. I don't know why it's not doing it. Ask to unmute, like.
There it goes.
All right.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. My
No,
dog.
I think it's my computer is like got a lag time or something.
Yeah, my dog only likes to bark when I do one of these meetings.
Right. All right.
So,
I didn't mean to interrupt. It's just, this is fascinating. So,
So-
all right.
I did want to mention that, especially from a township perspective, you should be really following DCEO pretty regularly because these fast track capital grants started at 25 million. There's going to be another 25 million that rolls out in another month or so. And then another expected on top of that. So up to 75 million. So if you got some small projects that you're looking to get done, you might want to look at the fast track grants that are coming out in DCEO. You got to, repair an elevator or do some sidewalk work. Look at these fast track grants. There's dollars out there. There's also a summer youth program that there's a NOFO out for if you want to put some folks to work for a couple months before they return to school. There's dollars out there for that. And really, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Is it possible that you can, or, you know, you and Carrie Lynn talk, but somebody send us a summary of this? I did not know about the capital grants. You know, we've been doing our projects from the capital fund. But we used to apply for grants all the time. So that's great. Or the summary. I had no idea.
Absolutely.
So I know you were very helpful on the PPP, and you know everything that's going on in Springfield. What's your feeling about when, if ever, it will move to phase 5?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think phase 5 is a ways away. I think we're going to be in phase 4 for a while. And, you know, let's hope that the numbers that are increasing in states like Arizona, Texas, Florida, it doesn't move back to Illinois, because we could go back down in phases. You know, so right now we're one of the only states that hasn't seen increases. Our numbers continue to go down. We're at a 2% positivity rate.
Wow.
But with states around us seeing increases, and as people are traveling, it easily can pick back up. And then doctors are really worried about flu season. You know, if this thing, you know, mixes in there with the flu, again, we could go back down in phases. So I'm happy that we're going to be at phase 4 on Friday. Let's enjoy that for a little while.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So, does anybody have any questions? Any more questions for Chris?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes, Chris, thank you. I was wondering on the food pantry, what kind of, were there dollars allocated for that you said that got addressed today? I didn't hear what.
So there wasn't a line item that was food pantry specific, but that is an item that is, and that's a reimbursable expense. For instance, I was in a township last week. Their normal food bank expenditure was $800 a month. During the last 3 months, they've been spending $6,000 a month on their food bank. That difference is all reimbursable dollars because it's as a result of COVID-19 and people being unemployed and you know, needing the services of the food bank. Yours has been pretty busy. If whatever hasn't been covered by those donated dollars, I would put that as something in an application for reimbursement to the county.
Okay, I was just curious what the pool of money was in total for the state allocated for that, or if there was an amount.
Well, I know Cook County's pool of money was $429 million.
Oh, 429, and
Yeah.
that's just for the food pantry.
That's just for, I wouldn't say food pantry, I would say $429 million in stimulus dollars through the CARES Act that Cook County has to push down to all of the local municipalities, the suburban municipalities in Cook County, because Chicago has their own pot of money.
Okay, so that's different.
Oh,
than,
that's part of the Cook County guidelines that you were talking about earlier, or the Cook County stuff? Okay.
Yes.
So we have 429 for that. We have 458 million for the mortgage and rental. We have 376 for the business incentive grants. These are all separate, right? And then the pre-K to college, 260 million for the childcare providers. These are all separate. Maybe if we, to Claire's point, Trustee McKenzie had brought up too, I think if we just, I mean, at least like, and you had mentioned this too, Laura, like put it in summary format with links.
We
could
gotta have a, that's exactly.
And then put it on the website. I would think.
Absolutely.
Between township officials of Cook County and maybe, you know, Ansel Link's website or whatever we have there, that if we could put it all on the website, that would be helpful so people could kind of click on it and see what the opportunities are. And then, you know, if we had a way to reach out to some of these businesses or communities.
Well, that's what I'm having GA. I really want them to reach out with respect to anything that is under, you know, food or childcare or, but like, I really like the capital grants. I mean, there's so many things. So, you know, Chris, it sounds like, I mean, obviously you were there. So, yeah, if you have a summary, like Susan, that's a great idea with links. Like, then we could just, you know, if you guys can do that, then we can, figure out which departments would be in charge of, letting their resident, the particular people they serve, as well as myself and Doreen and Vicki and Dana.
Yeah, we've been tracking it at the firm, so we'll get you something.
Okay, really appreciate it. Really helpful. I had no idea this.
One other question for Chris. When you had mentioned the budget being passed and that it being a flat budget, was there, I know you said we're counting on getting the 5 billion. I thought it was 10 that we needed from the federal government to make us whole but is it predicated on the graduated tax or the progressive tax being passed?
That was not included in the budget calculations for fiscal year 21. Not at all. The 5 billion was the gap that would be needed if the federal government does not do another stimulus bill that sends money to the states and local governments. So those are separate things, Susan.
Okay.
Anybody else? Chris, great presentation. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Anytime.
It was much better than what my official report would be.
Thanks for squeezing me in.
Oh, no. I mean, honestly, thank you for doing it.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. I got to go walk the dog.
Thank you. Keep up the good.
Thank you, guys.
Keep up the good work. All right, so we are going to move to old business, of which we have none, and new business. All right, I need a motion for approval of
I'm sorry, Laura, may I ask a question? I know it's not in the agenda, but it was in what we reviewed in the meetings, the previous board meeting minutes. Did we get approval for Kelly? Because we met Kelly tonight.
Oh, Mike said the 4-month contract was what they wanted to do. The original contract. So 2 months is not doable. 3 months is possibly doable. But the original contract of 4 months was preferable. So if you guys want me to do 3, I'll do 3. That'll end in August. And that was something that was going to come up in my board report. But I think that would be, I'm sorry, end in July, actually.
It started May.
No, I'm sorry. September 18th is the 4 months. So
right.
August 18th it would be, but we'd have to do it at the July board meeting is my point.
Right.
And it's my feeling that, the original, and he's fine, I believe, with doing 3 months. It's just that the original contract was their preference. But if you want to do the 3, we'll just have to vote on it again at the July meeting, which seems sort of a waste.
Does the rate change? The $39 an hour?
No. Change from what?
From what we approved for a temporary.
No, it's absolutely, you mean if it was through September? No.
Term, yeah.
Oh, past September? Yes. Then we can get her reduced, or we can hire her, or, we have a lot of options. I thought you were talking about 3 months versus 4 months. 3 months would end August 18th. 4 months would end September 18th. So August 18th would need to go on the July agenda because our meeting in August won't be until a week later. And then we'll be in the same position to not. The reason the 4 months was arrived at was because it's like Denise left June 3rd. Kelly, Denise trained her, but then Kelly has to help Dorothy a little bit. So whatever you guys want.
In your opinion, do you feel Dorothy will be up to speed within, you know?
Well, Dorothy won't be, they're totally different things. So we'll still need a Kelly.
Kelly's
Kelly's
more of the HR piece.
Right,
Dorothy
and
is the
she's very graciously done also payroll and things like that because she knows that system, which is, as Claire pointed out at the last meeting, a very difficult combination to find. And so they had reduced their price from 42. Kelly would normally bill out at 42, and they had reduced their price to 39. And so I think what would be most beneficial to the township would be to have her as a part-time person. Because HR is where the lawsuits are. I mean, you have, in my opinion, you need an HR person. That's what Denise was mostly doing. As well as IMRF and
that's disability, IMRF, specific health care questions,
FMLA, all of those
liability.
things.
Dorothy is more is
She doesn't know anything about this.
No, Dorothy doesn't. No, Dorothy is strictly accounting, so that's a separate piece.
So that's what I was trying to say at the last meeting. Those are two separate things.
And she's bonded, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The good thing about being a temp is, like, we don't do anything in terms of, I signed her 10 hours, even though you guys approved 12, she's only been doing 10. So she gets more done in 10 hours than any person I think she's just great.
Good to hear.
I'm sorry?
I said that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, I think also she really has a great personality and fit right into, also I think she's really helped Dorothy learn some things.
Yeah.
So,
Well, good for early nights, right?
yeah, she went, yes, indeed.
Yeah.
She had 500 and, yeah, I mean, this is
Well,
probably a piece of cake.
No.
So anyways, that's the deal.
It was a good choice.
Yeah, I think she really has worked out remarkably well. She's taken care of several FMLAs, several IMRFs. There was an issue with two mistakes that were done on the highly compensated sheet, took care of them, got it done in an hour. And I haven't had that in a while, so I was very pleased.
And as our trustee Claire said, this is something that has to happen, right?
Right. I just don't, one can't substitute for the other is what we're saying. Like,
okay. Thank you.
All right. So thanks for the question. Now, Wally has a road and bridge resolution, 2020-RB-2 for the selling of surplus equipment. Highway Cas merchant. Wally, is there anything you need to say about this?
Well, I don't think you have a motion yet to approve this resolution.
None of us can hear you. Can you pull the mask down? You're 6 feet away from anybody, I think. Okay.
I said you have to have somebody make a motion second before we vote on it.
Okay. All right. I'll make a motion to approve the Road and Bridge Resolution 2020-RB-2 for the selling of surplus equipment. Is there a second?
Second.
Hang on, having a motion and a second. It is now open for discussion. So, Highway Commissioner, if you could continue.
Yeah, this is an annual thing. I think every year I've been here, they make a resolution once a year to get rid of things that we no longer we can service or options we are not in our best interest. And there's only 3 items this year. One's a 13-year-old truck, the other one's 18. Something like that could probably get $5,000 or $6,000 piece. And there is a market for ancient front-end loaders. This thing's 19 years old. Minimally, you're going to get 10, maybe even up to 15 for a machine like that. A lot of people, like a lot of companies, tinker with it to get it working better, and they're willing to pay 10 to 15,000 to.
Which one is that, Wally?
That's the front-end loader, the John Deere.
Oh.
So, you know, estimated maybe the whole kit, the brutal will give you somewhere between 25 and 30,000 across 3 auctions or so.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, so that's really all I have to say. It's pretty much boilerplate, the resolution.
So it's a no lose. I mean, we're selling used equipment that somebody will buy, and then we get reimbursed.
Last year it was an inordinate amount because we had a almost new snowblower to get rid of, and we got about 170 grand declared. Well, when you get any clear that, we don't have that much equipment to get rid of, and it's very, very old. All that stuff is still running.
Oh, right. These are the really old ones that can't be. Okay. All right.
That's all.
So, does anybody have any questions of Wally?
No.
Hearing none. Thank you, Wally. Clerk Gialamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask?
Yeah.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Okay. Next order of business is the monthly Dick Barton allotment. And if you recall, we for the COVID period moved it to a month because we really couldn't do 3 months because we have no idea in terms of so Dana, I believe, and yeah, it's in my board packet.
Yeah, I think maybe towards the beginning you want to pull it out. It's memorandum. It's I just did it for July, for the month of July instead of quarterly, just of course because everything's up in the air. I mean, we don't know what's coming up month by month. So I'm recommending, again, I always do get input from Dick, but sometimes change it around a little bit. But I'm recommending a total of 7 hours for July, just real quick to go down with the bullet points. First bullet point is Virtual Township Day. First of all, thank you everybody for participating. I hope you all had fun doing the videos. We did, and everyone's came out so good. I thought it was just awesome, and I hope everyone had a chance to see it. If you didn't, it's on our website.
I haven't watched it yet because I need to be in a quiet place.
Yeah,
hopefully it was good.
It was. It's 46 minutes, so it's a little lengthy, but it really. I think it came out really, really good. So thank you everyone for doing that. Much, much appreciated. I think it came out really cute, very informative. Some people, as I always say, have no idea what townships do. And it was good to introduce the board, the staff, our programs, let them know that we're slowly reopening. Very much needed. So just a big shout out, a thank you to everybody for doing that.
I also want to thank Rich, who really
spent hours.
Went the nth degree. And Claire and I had the same problem. Like, some of these videos were just too big. Like, so you'd send it and you thought it was going, but it was bouncing back. And so Rich really, and the splice, he did a great job. I mean, really. Thank you, Rich.
He did. He spent a long time putting that together, and I have no idea how he did it, but he did it. So, yeah, it came out really good. So, leads me to my first bullet point is that I just want to make sure if we get one more press release out, just to make sure that the public knows it's on there. It's on our front page. There's a YouTube link. So I don't know, Laura, we didn't talk about how long we're going to keep that on there, but I'm assuming quite a while. So
yeah. I mean, I think that it's really good for everybody to know in a sort of fun way, you know, what you know, and the trustees did a great job, and I think, you know, it should stay on there for a while.
Right, so that's why
But
I
I
was
do
just,
agree that another, you know, like, post thing,
right,
you know, our first annual township virtual day, you know,
right, like where to find the link, this is what they
Right.
can learn. We hosted the events, you know, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I think I'd like to have them put out one more thing. We did something pre, now one post, just because a lot of time and effort we put into that. So
and also
anyways,
got picked up by every place.
yeah, yeah. So 2 hours for that if we can. The second bullet point is.
And Dana, on that note, when you say press release, is it an ad in Journal and Topics you're talking about?
No, it's a press
No,
release.
no, it's an actual
No,
press
we're
release.
done
So-
with that. No.
We're
No,
not
it's
doing-
it's an actual like article written with where we can also put photos, and it goes to anyone from the Journal to the Bugle to the Daily Herald
And
to
Pioneer Press.
Pioneer
and
Press.
Tribune. Right.
Right.
And we don't
So-
pay for that. We're not paying.
No.
No, just Dick.
Well,
I
we're paying
mean,
for right. We're paying Dick his 2 hours. That's it.
that's it.
You know
I
what?
always think it's better to do press releases than ads, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can I talk, Laura?
I'm sorry?
Can I talk a little bit, or can you
Sure.
hear me?
Yeah.
You know what, I need a little time with Dick too, because we just got changed with the Cook County Assessor's Office. We were scheduled to open July 6th. They moved us to July 28th. And we already are working on changing the our web page on that. But also everybody knows that we're supposed to be open July 6th. And then we just got notification 2 days ago, it's July 28th. So can I use Dick a little
Yeah,
bit? For,
no, I think she's right. How many hours?
just give me half, I mean, I don't know. We can prepare it for him. If he can, you know, half an hour or something for him, or an hour.
An hour?
You can see how
Yeah.
we need to, looking at all the press clippings, we laid out everything that would be said about the virtual township day and what was already printed in so many of those articles we just got in the press clippings. I don't know why it would have taken 2 hours to do that. I just don't.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I don't understand. It's like.
All right, so I don't
So
know
maybe
how
we
much-
can bring that one down. So
Right.
maybe we can bring
and
that one
then
down.
give that to
It's
Susan.
already
We
done.
take that down an hour, and because we don't want a bunch of people flooding the township July 6th.
So why don't we bring that to an hour and give Susie the other hour?
Because it's
That's
very
great.
important. That's time is of the essence.
You know
Right.
what, we're already,
Right, I mean, I don't even think he needs to, I mean, he can just use what's already, we could use what's written for the press release.
Pardon me.
Well, I think maybe,
Agree.
you know, Susan, I gotta say, I don't think it's ever bad to tell people, as Dave Carabota always says, you know, townships, nobody like knows what they do. So I don't think it's bad to, you know, it would be reformulated a different way. I agree, it doesn't need 2 hours. You know, it would be like maybe how many hits it got. You know, there's a lot of different angles, but so I think that should go down an hour and the other hour go to Susie.
Well, can I say something else? I don't know if you
Sure.
can hear. Okay, so already we put it out there to our residents. We already made, because of what's going on with COVID, we're doing appointment only. And we've already had 200 appointments that we have had to cancel and reschedule. So we still have to we're ongoing doing that. So I think if I can get it out in the press too, that would be beneficial, you know, because now we're taking, you know, a lot of
Yeah,
time.
agreed. Yeah, no, agreed. So, I mean, if we want to give them a half hour on the virtual township and an hour and a half to, you know, that,
No, I think the virtual,
Trustee McKenzie.
I think you can get it done within an hour with
Oh,
getting it
absolutely.
for us.
Fine.
That would be so beneficial.
Okay.
And let people know, because right now they're like PO'd. you know.
I bet. Trustee McKenzie.
This just brings me to when I was reviewing the bills, I noticed that the Barton Marketing Group bill just said pre-approved hours for blah, blah, and the number of hours that were pre-approved. It didn't state what he actually did in time. So I'm just wondering, you know, when I have approved prior months' work, I always thought that just like, you know, attorneys and accountants, you
I agree
actually
with you.
bill for actual.
I agree with you. So you want a more detailed, like we have to do.
He usually,
No problem.
Claire, he usually does. I'll make sure he does that again.
Okay.
I'll talk to
I
him.
had not seen that before. That's
No,
why
I was a little upset.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know why he didn't do it. He usually does do that. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just thought.
No,
if
you're
they're
right.
Approving, and that's all he's
No,
doing, then
I'm
we
with
have to be
you.
more.
You know, we've been
Right.
after him. I drilled it into him, and
Okay.
You're totally right. I'll make sure that's done in the future.
Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
So,
Laura, can
I
I just get clarification based on
Sure.
what Susie had just said? I know you said we have 200 appointments. Is it something I know we're doing appointment only, but that means we're doing it not remotely. You're in the township office for appointments, right? And you're just staggering them.
Everybody's at the township right now.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Every department is at the township.
right.
All
It's
my-
fully staffed.
So you're
All
fully
my staff is at
only handle
the
some.
township.
So that's
And
what you're.
we're working.
But what she's saying is she has to change 200 appointments.
Right, but the 200 appointments in itself is hard to. You've got to stagger it more, is what I'm assuming.
No, she's talking about originally the date was July 6th.
I know, I understand that. I'm clear on that. And now it changed to July 20th.
Right. So that's why she has to change all those appointments.
And the reason why we're appointment only as opposed to open like we were, I'm assuming, is because there's too many people to come.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
See, I don't know if the trustees have been here before when we were open.
Yeah,
for
I don't
appeal,
think I was
but
going to
we-
get to that in my
We
report
have
as to how
300, like 300 people, 400 people. Our boardroom would be packed.
Right.
And we can't do that right now because of COVID. And
So
actually, we can only, because of distancing, we had 5 people at the counter. Now we can only do 3 people at the counter.
That's what I was asking.
So it's a whole different scheme of things and how we're doing things. And we have different communication with the Cook County Assessor's Office, how we're doing the appeals. And he promoted that anybody that is open for appeals should do an appeal, because he is saying that people will get some kind of relief for the COVID. I don't kind of understand that and how he's going to.
Well, actually, I was
reduce the
just going to say all of Dick Barton's things on this COVID might be able to get reimbursed from either FEMA or Cook County. I just came up with that because
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea.
right.
Are you using the boardroom too then, Susie? Is that?
We can't do it.
We can't. It's by appointment only, and what is going to happen is that people, they come to their appointment, they have to sit in their car, and we have to call them that we're ready for them. And then they can come in.
I didn't see, I'm asking these questions because I didn't see a board report, so I didn't know what was.
Well, we haven't gotten, Trustee McKenzie was at the township and I think she saw it. Were you there when we opened? Right? So we
I
have
have a question.
Sure.
Is it possible to do any of these meetings with residents by Zoom?
Well, I decreed that everybody come back to work because you guys approved only up to June 13th.
From our assessor's office, can't we use our computers to do Zoom conferences with residents?
Well, you know what, here's what we're going to do. They can come in person because a lot of people do not have computers.
Well,
A lot of residents are
They're
not.
older, right?
So we can certainly do that with them, or we can do it on the phone and get comparables and things that they need we can send that to them. We can instruct them because it's a different procedure with the Cook County Assessor, how to do it online. It's a little bit more difficult. It's not like a friendly app for them to do, so we have to explain that to them how to do it. So they're able to do that. But mostly, you know, people that have different issues with, they go to the assessor because the size of their house is wrong, they've had a fire, they've had flooding, they have an appraisal. We have different issues that we have to go over with them. And for us to do a Zoom meeting with individual residents, so we'd have to do a Zoom ID and the password for different residents. So
What if you took a group like that, like Trustee
making
McKenzie?
us do a little bit more than we really, we're, you know, this is kind of this is our new norm. So we're working through it. We're doing the best that we can. We have staff meetings. We've had education. We are meeting also. We have a Zoom meeting with our Cook County Township assessors are trying to get us on page with what they've been doing. So there's a lot involved that my staff has been trying to accommodate the residents. And, you know, that would be a perfect world, Claire, doing a Zoom, but I think that's just too much, setting that up for each individual resident. Like Laura sets it up for us, that would be a little difficult.
Well, right, we would need like 100. I mean, we don't know how many licenses we would need. And hang on, Trustee Sweeney. And the other thing is that all departments are by appointment only. Like the clerk's department is by appointment only. And this is why we bought the shields, because you know, the residents like coming in person. And so we have a staff member, just to let everybody know how it's working. So we have a staff member and people sign up. Rich has done a great, you know how we have the seamless docs? So he's done a great interactive PDF where you sign up for an appointment, okay?
Rich worked out his system. Went downstairs in the GA. We have a Google app for appointments. It's really terrific.
Yeah,
so
Rich did a terrific
schedule
job.
each person for time slots in the app. So I have a sheet every day where I know who's coming in, who's on appointments. It's a terrific thing. We're really excited to use it.
And I think it's part of that all share folder, Claire, that you like learned about. And so it's worked really well because, for example, passports, you know, we got to stagger passports and to go back to the clerk's office.
I see them with families of like 6 or 7 in there.
And you can't have that. So
I might lose you guys because my battery's running out.
Oh, and you don't have a charger?
Oh, she's gone.
Yeah,
oh, she's there.
on the charger. It's been on the charger the whole time.
Oh, it's there. You're there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna lose you guys.
You want me to get you back once you lose me?
I'm just warning you that it might, I might lose you.
Okay, so then if you do, you want to call the number and do phone?
Yeah, let's see. We'll try something else. Okay. Try this.
Or I don't know if you have an iPad or.
iPad.
I'm sorry?
I'm using the iPad.
Oh, okay. I started using my laptop just because it's actually works.
You know, I don't need to interrupt Kim. You know, she's gone. But actually, I was thinking about trying headphones actually for my office because they're on the phone with people and they're doing computer work and looking up things for them. They have to put them on hold. So I was kind of hoping to do that, but I don't have it in my budget.
So in answer to your guys' question, the assessor's office and the clerk's office sees more people by appointment than they would by Zoom.
Yep.
All I was saying is, can't you have the appointment via Zoom?
No,
I mean, they bring, and they, yeah.
we have to sign everybody up for that. And we have people not accustomed to that. It would just take us a longer amount of time to get them into Zoom because you have to have, you know, connection, tell them to Zoom.
Plus you need signatures some of the time, so.
Yeah.
Right, right. And that's why we did the plastic shield where you can slip it underneath. And so that's why we have somebody sitting outside at all times. They sign up to volunteer for it. It's a staff member who, you know, says, okay, you know, do you have an appointment? So we made 2 different cards, one for the assessor's office, where it's got like their direct extension. So it doesn't have to go through the phone desk. Like they can directly call. And then for, they've been so busy, they don't do same day. But for example, on the clerks, the ASHA wanted the ability, like if they didn't have any passports like that day, so they have a different card that the front person, it's just a tiny little card and it has her direct thing. And so they can go to their car and say, you know, we want a sticker, a yard waste sticker. And if she has nobody, she'll take them. So they don't have to come back. It's worked out really well. And then we've kept Maine Stand virtual because Medicare, you know, everything has allowed it, and it's been a huge hit. You know, we did this tent, which has been just, Marie is an unbelievable job. Senior programming, and now it's being shared by the Recovery Connection that got, you know, a great response on their Friday meeting. You know, he was waiting for a free place. I said, we have a place, we have a tent. So I happened to, the day I filmed, they were doing, the seniors were doing horse racing. It really was like they were having a blast.
Where's Daddy?
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I'm sorry. My dog. I'm talking to the dog. Sorry.
So anyways, that's how, you know, so then we have the markers when you went in to look at the mask. So we have the markers. So, you know, even if you get people in the front hall, they know, you know, stand here, because even with phase 4, you still have to be socially distanced. And so to us, it really was the best way to reopen physically the town hall for right now. Now, once we're in phase 4, we'll work to, I think for both assessor, I mean, till possibly like September, October, it might be appointment only. Just because we can't have, you know, even under phase 4, we can't have 100 people sitting in the boardroom. So, does anybody have going back to this? So, you know, we get anybody have a problem if we amend Dana's memorandum to do 1 hour on virtual township day follow-up and 1 hour on the assessor? Okay. So, I'll make a motion to pass the July 7 hours, Dana?
We didn't talk
Yeah,
about the other,
7.
we didn't talk about the other issues. We only talked about the first.
Okay.
So I have a question on the appeal for donations. We have a lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, people have been very generous. And I mean, I assume that we'll be doing our own shopping for some of that, for stocking the food pantry.
Did you go by Daddy?
We haven't needed to do that. I mean,
No.
we did a couple weeks ago, but then the GoFundMe people did like a ton of drop-offs, as did Aqua from Beth Panesis, and so I
Right,
mean,
but I don't think though that we should ever stop asking or to letting the public know that we're in
Right.
need of donations, because once we stop doing that, so what's gonna happen, even though I know this GoFundMe page was very generous, and I think there was, I don't know the last time I looked, but there was quite a bit of money on there. Eventually that will run out. But I don't think we should stop asking the public to make donations. I think we should always continue to do that. Especially because we are still open 5 days a week, and we still do have a steady stream of residents coming on a regular basis, and that food goes really, really, really fast.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
boxes get filled up quickly. So I guess thought it would be good just to remind the public that we are still open daily, that we're still in need of food, maybe a list of the non-perishable items that we need. Just a reminder of what the hours are. I was going to talk to Laura about, maybe the date we're going to go back to the regular hours. I just think it's always good to put out a press release at least once a month, just to let the public know, what's going on.
And what do we have in reserves now for the food pantry? We had 70,000 and then plus whatever the food pantry with the GoFundMe drive raised.
no, okay, so the GoFundMe is not ours, right?
That's not our money. Yeah.
It's not our
Right.
money.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Our line item is 50,000.
Okay, well, we had like 70,000 last week.
Right, because of the donations, yeah.
Is that where we're at still, about 70,000 that we have in?
I don't know, you probably should have.
I'd have to pull up, yeah, I'd have to pull up my sheet. I don't have it right in front of me.
What's
You're
your
talking-
issue with, we gotta get a move on. What's your issue with Dick
As far as
Barton?
restocking the pantry,
Okay,
if this drive, is ending,
what drive?
the GoFundMe.
No, okay. So the good thing about the GoFundMe is it spawned other ones. For example, Eileen from the Human Needs Task Force then wanted to do something with the city of Park Ridge, and I don't know where that's at. Like they had 1,000 to donate, and I said instead of a GoFundMe, just donate the 1,000 for gosh sakes. So we get a ton of calls and people that donate food, but we also need certain staples. So that's where the GoFundMe page comes in, because those shoppers have a list, right?
Well, we were using our staff to shop for some of the food and the staples that we need.
Once, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, that was once or twice. Once
right.
on Passover, and then once 2 weeks ago.
And that's the only time our staff is doing any shopping for food.
Correct.
That's it.
That's it. John Bennett is not very good at shopping for food.
And what about Carol?
Carol is unloading, loading, and working the phone. So Carol is not shopping for food.
Plus, she's not supposed to be in grocery stores among a lot of people.
We get the volunteer, so John Bennett gives us volunteers if we ask him to shop for food. We haven't needed to do that.
There's been a large number of us volunteering and going to the grocery store.
He did a lot of drop-offs. And I also, Dave, care about the Knights of Columbus through St. John Brebeuf Parish.
Yeah, Mel Koenig's.
Yeah, did a big drop-off. So, and they do use our list. So I agree with Dana. I don't think there's any detriment to, keeping that front and center and publishing it.
I don't understand what the issue is.
The
Did I miss
issue here,
something?
just to get to the bottom line, I think the issue is whether or not 2 hours is needed to do a press release of the food pantry update and appeal for donations. I think it's
So you want to
primarily.
do 1 hour? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
just like,
want to cut that in half? You can cut that in half. I mean, are you looking for less time?
I think that was really the only
That's the
issue,
issue?
was whether or not, what would be the 2 hours, that's the only.
Okay, so we'll make that 1 hour.
You want to do 1 hour? Okay.
Yeah, no, he can
What
let
about
me
the
know.
what about the reopening of the township? Why is that necessary? Don't people know?
Well,
I mean, if they go
you
to,
guys didn't know.
Okay, I have to tell you though, Susan, so we have 2 people manning the doors. I have people volunteering every day manning the doors right now, and we constantly have people coming up wanting to come in, and they have no idea that they need appointments. So we have to get a press release out reminding the public that it's by appointment only.
Right.
So, I mean, if you don't want to get the 2 hours, that's fine. You can cut
And
that
it's
in
much
half.
cheaper than an ad.
Yeah, so we can do an hour. I'm okay with that, but we do
that's
have to
better.
get something out.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
just announcing that it was reopened, and that's why I was
No,
asking. You're talking about,
like literally listing and the numbers
yeah,
to
if we
call
can do that in
because
an hour, that's fine.
You want to do an hour?
At our rate, that they can't get in the township, they don't get it. So I mean, we have to have people there, and I
Right,
can't really afford to even put my people there. And we're mandated to go and volunteer too, to be up in front of that door. So I really don't want even my people to be there because they're busy. Everybody's busy.
Right.
Everybody's got time.
everybody's doing their
It's so-
regular job and volunteering to do this front
Come
door.
on.
I
And
think,
get the word out, at least to get it a little bit so it's just a little bit easier for, when I have staff coming there, we have to deal with the public and then go to the door and have them irate that they can't get in the township.
I think the only.
You're losing a lot of public goodwill if they, come.
I think the only issue was the amount of time, and I think that was resolved about, a little bit ago. So we got to kind of,
Yeah, we got to move along, guys.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's done good for us, and it pays off. It just
I think we're done. I think we're done with that, right?
I agree.
Okay,
I
so
agree. So here, hang on. Let me summarize this.
Done with this.
Revised time is 1 hour on the virtual township day, 1 hour on the food pantry update, 2 hours on the reopening of the township, 1 hour for the board clippings, and 1 hour for the assessor. Am I correct?
We had 1 hour in the reopening of the township.
One hour on the virtual, 1 hour on the reopening.
Okay. So that is one.
And I might just suggest, because I'm on the website looking, that we have this like on the very front page that we have.
Yeah, 5 hours.
I just switch it over to
Okay,
change.
so I'm gonna just amend my motion and I make an amended motion to pass as amended to 5 hours for Dave, I was gonna say Dave Carbona, for Barton Marketing Group. Whoever seconded this, can they please, thank you. Having a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on this?
Yes, come on, let's go, guys.
No, I think we're done, but I do think we should be clear on our website about that we have to have, then it is now.
We are on the website.
Okay, all right, we will. All right, hearing none, Preaching Lamas, can you, all right, guys. Hearing, otherwise I'm gonna have to mute everybody. Hearing none, Clerk Lamas, will you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
Okay, next order of new business, discussion and vote on unique custom woodwork plexiglass estimate for town hall offices. Who's ever in the boardroom, can you go get Mike? Doreen sent you guys this late. It was supposed to be in the board packet, so she said somehow it just didn't get in there. Mike is there ready to tell you. These are the same dividers, but for the, well, Mike, you go.
So basically, it's going to be the same company that I recommended.
You can take your mask off, Mike.
Right.
No,
No, he won't. But
He won't.
Loud. He won't.
you guys can hear me?
Louder and closer.
All right. So I want to go with, I recommended that the township go with unique custom woodwork. It's a total of $1,225. In comparison with the other companies, they are definitely way cheaper than any of the companies that we've looked at in the past. So we would get 7 of them, 4 for GA, and then 3 would go into the counseling rooms that GA and Mainstay use. So
The company that did ours, Mike?
correct. Yes.
Oh, I thought they did an excellent job, and I thought they were so reasonable.
And they look good.
Oh my gosh. They're
Alright. So
fantastic.
this allows GA to have in-person appointments, and it allows us to transition Mainstay back from virtual to in-person. All right, because you can't ask a Mainstay therapist to sit across from somebody without some type of shield.
Yes,
So this
I'm-
was
I'm
part
good.
2. I'm sorry?
I'm good. We're good.
Okay.
I,
Good.
Trustee Sweeney.
I assumed when I was doing bill pay and looked over this, that the 4,055 matched up with what this invoice is that Doreen sent us of 1,225, and it doesn't. So what is the extra 3,000?
For this. Wait.
Yeah,
Is
so
Doreen there? I have no idea what you're looking at. Our issue right now is this additional contract because you want us to bring you every contract.
Okay, so the other one was for June that I just approved, that we all just approved today for 4,000. And that was what was already.
That was what was already actually discussed and really approved in May.
And we voted on that amount?
You did. And yes, the estimate you did. Mike came in front of you. You did.
Okay. Was that the same amount, Mike? That 4,000?
This is a different area he's
Yeah.
doing it.
that there, Susan, that covered the front desk, the clerks, the assessors, and as well as a new countertop for the assessors.
Correct.
It extended their countertop.
Okay, and the new one is for, I'm sorry.
Totally different section of the building.
Yeah, the new one is going to be for 4 GA employees, as well as 3 mainstay counseling rooms that GA uses as well.
Okay.
That's a total of 1,225.
And it will be the capital fund.
Oh, this will be from the capital fund.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're saying it like, I just want.
Oh, well, I just figured you guys know that because.
No, we can't assume that. We're always supposed to know what's coming out.
That's why I'm bringing, okay. So anyways, yes,
Okay.
because it's capital improvement. And also, as we've learned from Chris Welch, we'll likely be able to submit and obtain reimbursement from either FEMA or the county. So that would also be on that ledger because, you know, frankly, I guess it would be better.
And who's gonna work on doing that?
Okay.
All right. So, Clerk Kilamis, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask?
Wait, did I make a motion? I did.
No motion.
Did, and I seconded it.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Trustee
Okay.
Carabota
Clerk
seconded.
Kilamis, can you call the roll?
They did.
Supervisor Marask?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Sorry, I was getting some interference there. Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
You know, it may be, I'm trying to think now, we may want to make it a formal motion. I'm not sure if we actually did that now that I'm.
Okay, so you convinced me I did something
convinced you,
I
and I
didn't
think
do.
Nation, right. I think because I was.
Back
See?
up.
I thought I heard you second it as well.
All right, you're a really good lawyer that you convinced me I did something I didn't. So, motion to approve the estimate for unique custom woodwork to do the plexiglass for the GA and the mainstay counseling.
Second.
For $1,125.
No. For 1,225.
Oh, you're correct. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, and Dave, you second that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Clerk Kilamis,
Supervisor Marask?
yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie?
Yes.
Trustee Carabota?
Yes.
And Trustee Sweeney?
Yes.
All right, we've got an item under 11, which I'm going to move up to new business. It does not need to be in closed session. This was a discussion and vote on ordering a transcript of an oral argument. It's $152. And do I have a motion?
I make a motion to order the transcript as presented in the agenda item, cost of $152.
Is there a second? Having a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Clerk Gilamas, can you call the roll?
Supervisor Marask,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee McKenzie,
Yes.
Trustee Carabota,
Yes.
Trustee Sweeney.
Yes.
Okay. And next, we've got official report. Dana put hers in. We're going to start at the Trustee Sweeney end of the board.
I'm sorry, are you calling me? I couldn't hear. It was...
Officials report. Do you
Oh.
have an official report?
Oh, okay. I just wanted to thank the township staff for the work that's been done during COVID and for the Township Day and for all that's been done by Rich Lyons in Mainstay that we somewhat touched on last board meeting. And then specifically some of the volunteers that have helped out that were referenced, you know, I'm looking for the names that I had. I know there were 2 Carols and that came in for the masks and helped deliver, you know, and helped that are the hometown heroes, I think, that are referenced. Sharon, Carol, Joyce, and Carol Wichter that sewed all the cotton face masks and provided extra help and service to our residents that we couldn't have done without them. So volunteerism is a big part of what we you know, hope to see continued support with Maine Township, and we appreciate our residents and volunteers that have helped us. That's it.
Excellent. Okay, Trustee Carabota.
I couldn't have said it better as trustee said it. Add to that, I want to thank our charities and our nonprofits for the work they've been doing up through now through the township. Of course, the Knights of Columbus, a thumbs up for that. Our churches are now opening now. St. John Brebehoff is open, and I'm hoping people will try to get back to more of a normal schedule. And the churches and your charities are here for you, as well as your township. Thank you.
Excellent. Trustee McKenzie.
I'm going to second what Susan Sweeney and Dave Carabota both said. Thanking everybody and recognizing everybody for all their hard work and effort. And I want to say I'm very proud of how the township has transitioned during this whole really difficult time. And they're coming out of it with, you know, smiles, and it's really nice to see. I don't think we've seen that across the other parts of government. So it seems like we're seamless and we're getting everything done, and people are reaching out to us, and that's good. The other thing I want to say is that I'm very encouraged by what Chris has presented to us tonight, and I hope that we can get reimbursed for some of these costs and take advantage of some of these programs and aid that's being offered, and especially if we can try to liaison for our businesses in our township, especially the unincorporated businesses and the unincorporated residents that may benefit from any aid that is available. I'm really happy to hear that Laura already have people on all these things. It's great. Thank you. And if there's anything I can do, and if you do want to have some type of subcommittee or I don't know, sounding board, or you just want to meet about it, I'm willing to look at whatever is needed and help Austin as well. I think that
Claire, I'm going to take you up on that, and because honestly, when Dana and I watch these FEMA, and and you're the account, I mean, it's a lot. So
A lot. I would be happy to help on that front too. If there's something I can do.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right, Trustee Jones. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you done? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine.
All right, Trustee
Of course,
Jones.
Carrie Lynn's going to help get us through it, right? Too, also, Carrie, right?
There you
If
go.
I can.
Oh, Carolyn's been great. Trustee Jones.
Yes, I also would like to echo the other trustees and in thanking the staff for their hard work and Dana and Vicky and Rich especially for putting together the township days video. I watched about half of it. I haven't finished it, but it's really great. It's very informative and it's educational to citizens. I hope that people watch and enjoy it. It really puts the township in a great light. Not that we weren't before, but it's a tool that we can use. And I just hope that we can move into phase 4 and to phase 5, sooner than later, so that things can get back to more normalcy. That's it. Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go next. Finish what I gave Chris, and it won't be long. But I am just, I really want to thank our staff and everybody. We had our first department head meeting in person, socially distant, June 12th, in order to have everybody on board with how we were going to reopen. And it worked beautifully, like absolutely beautifully. Carrie Lynn did a manual for it, and we followed probably more than the guidelines, but it made people feel safe. Also want to announce, if anybody needs a face mask, Claire can attest to this.
They're really nice.
They're
Beautiful.
really nice. Those heroes. Okay, I got to give a special shout out to Marie. Like, she transitioned to these virtual programs, and I'm sure you've read her report. And they're amazing. I mean, these seniors, like, they want to stay virtual, frankly. But those hometown heroes are fabulous, and these masks are great. There are just all different patterns, all different colors. We have leftovers. So, I applaud all the township employees who signed up for both mask giveaway days. We had, one a week on May 21st, coordinated by Vicky, also signed up for by all of our staff to volunteer. And then the next one was the mainstreamers, because they made the masks for the mainstreamers so they could come separately because they might be and it was just such a great system. Next thing I want to point out is that the food pantry had 933 boxes in the month of May. That is an all-time record. I'm not sure if I talked about it in May, but we did an interview on WBBM, and they featured our food pantry all day. And I can't even remember what day that was. We entered into a food drive with Lutheran General. Lutheran General wanted to basically, pay back ours. We had donated masks to them, and they had seen the GoFundMe, so they collected food for us. Similarly with the Human Needs Task Force, St. John Brebeuf. The list goes on and on. Also, I'm pleased to announce that Recovery Connection is sharing the tip and has started moving to in-person. We had some very, everybody, we can't reopen too soon, but at the same time, people's mental health was very much affected. There was a suicide, there was an attempt suicide, and then there was an accident, all with Recovery Connection people. So it's something that we are really, I want you to think about for July, because we lost out on the ability to have Brendan. And so right now it's Marty and Nick, and they're like been in the food pantry. Now we will have to transition back to the numbers are going down. I think this month it might be 500, but so they're not going down all 933 is a record I've never seen. So And the same goes with GA. Once we get these installed, we can have in person, but GA has actively reached out to every member of both GA and anybody who uses any of the benefit programs. So I absolutely want to thank every single department head and Dana and Vicki and Carrie Lynn, and Rich. I've honestly never seen anything like it. And all of the elected officials for Township Day, I thought it was great. I think people had fun. And so that's it. So moving next, to my left is Clerk Gilamas.
The only thing I'd want to add to my written report is National Night Out obviously is not happening on August 6th. The national organization moved it to October 6th. I re-registered for that date, but in all honesty, I can't see us being in phase 5 by that point. So I think more than likely it's just going to wind up being canceled for this year. So I'll wait a little longer before making an official announcement, but unless something dramatically changes between now and then, I don't see it.
Someone discovers a vaccine?
Yeah, that's about it. So
yeah. The idea of having 190, 200, well, we had 600.
We have 500 to 600 people. Yeah.
Right.
So we couldn't even have it at this point.
I thought it was great. You moved it to October, but I'm like, it's sort of like moving a wedding.
Yeah.
A big one. So we'll wait for that. But I didn't mean to interrupt, but that was really like, welcome to get everybody back to, they're so eager, all your people, to come back and do passports. It's been amazing. So tell anybody you know that needs a passport and is idiotic enough to go fly in. I'm teasing. But seriously, we've had a good response on that. And did you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. And then it would be Assessor Marlene Craig. Oh wait, is Walter still there? He's gone. Okay, Assessor Marlene Craig.
I have to apologize for going in and out of the meeting tonight. There are a bunch of M80s going off. My dog is like a basket case. And
yeah, we've got him here too.
The bedroom upstairs.
Yeah, they've been doing it 2 weeks, basically.
And the door closed, and she's like, scratching on the door.
Terrible.
I just had to let her in, and I'm sorry. And you know what? I love fireworks, but even the loud noises kind of throw me off too. And she's just like a shuddering little leaf, but she's not little. She's like 55 pounds. So she wants to be near me. And then the cat too. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I really want to put my thanks out to Rich Lyon. Actually, it's not Lyons, it's Lyon. He has changed my website so many times. I've had so many different things happening with the Cook County Assessor, and we have to change it like every week. This guy is just inundated with work. He's constantly doing things for us. Plus, he helped us with the Google scheduling and got that done. Plus his own cases. Oh my God, kudos out to Rich. We really appreciate your hard work that you put into doing things for us. It's much appreciated. And we had to we had a learning curve. Everybody has a learning curve during this situation, the new normal. So we've been on Google scheduling. We had John Ambergy. Thank you. He was setting up our programs for us that we have been training for and getting done with, so we would be on board to schedule to put all our permits in, because we are inundated with our office. We don't even have the file room anymore for these permits. And we're mandated from in the county to keep every file on any permit. And it's just been ongoing and we don't have the room. So we've been working on that also. And now we were scheduling appointments for, like I had previously told you, with our opening date for the board, the Cook County Assessor's Office. And they told us July 6th, but now they changed our date. We already scheduled appointments. We put it out on our website. I even put it in a neighborhood that I'm connected to, and people have contacted me. So now I've changed that.
Oh, good point. So did I. Oh,
yeah,
I gotta change
I
that.
had changed that because people have been contacting me and saying, thank you, let me know. Because the assessor is telling everybody that they should appeal because of the COVID. I don't know how he's going to assess that. I don't have an idea about that. But I'll tell you, there's ongoing cases that I have with the assessor's office since March that have not been resolved. And I am fighting for residents who have been getting assessed very unfair. They have appraisals done, and where it's a $450,000 appraisal, they've been getting assessed over $1 million. I've been fighting this constantly with them. I'm hoping to get results with it, but you know, our office will undertake anything like that from any of our residents, and we'll fight for them. So that's what I have. Right now, the tax bills are out on the Cook County Treasurer's site. So
Oh yeah, Susie, is there a grace period now? Is it due October, Liz, I think told us?
October 1st is the final due date. After that time, if you don't pay by October 1st, you will get the penalty of 1.5%.
For a second.
Okay.
So you have
October
until October 1st to pay your tax bill.
as
After
opposed to
that,
August.
they will assess the 1.5% penalty on your tax bill.
Okay.
So if you're paying and through your bank and you have an escrow account, you have to make arrangements with them if you feel that you are going to have to pay more or whatever, because they will pay that when that date comes out, and the tax bills will probably be out in the mailbox in
I'll keep doing my thing.
I hear people talking. I don't know.
I do too. So anyways, does that end your report?
I think so.
Okay.
Actually, I have my son that's wishing me something, so yeah, I'm done with it.
No,
And
I
you're going to
appreciate
have a
it.
closed meeting about my IMRF, so I'm going to leave.
No, we're done. We did that in open session. It's done.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was just ordering a transcript of the motion to dismiss. All right. So actually, I'm assuming Dana has nothing to add to her administrator's report, do you?
Nope, nothing to add.
And does our attorney have anything to add to her report? Or does she have a report? Now that I have her muted again, I don't know how this keeps freaking happening. Hang on, you're not, nobody's.
I don't have a report.
Okay, and she froze.
I heard.
So, great, she said she didn't have a report. I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Wow,
All right.
having a
Good
motion.
night, everybody. Stay safe. I'll see you. Happy
You
4th.
too.
All
Happy
right,
4th.
happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
And please don't set off fireworks. It really upsets
Yeah,
my
my
kid.
dog is crazy.
Yeah, all right, guys, ending this meeting.
Good night.
Well.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.